going back to the album, like what's your role in everything? Are you producing it?
Yeah. Yep. I basically project manage, produce, record it, mix it. I'll just get mastered somewhere else, but I do all the arranging in here. Basically everything you hear is done in this room.
Cool. Are you part of the writing rooms and stuff, or did you bring in writers?
No, we do it all in house here. Like the Christmas album itself, I've just arranged the whole thing. There's probably a group of 3 or 4 of us, Planetshakers, main writers who write all the songs for the praise and worship songs in the album as well. So yeah.
Could you maybe speak a little bit? I know you guys are looked to for being able to have just a lot of really good music, and I know a lot of our listeners might be just trying to get a little insight in, like, what's your guys' writing process look like? Like, how do you, this is the volume and that you guys are able to produce, like, how do you guys pull that off?
Yeah, well, it's obviously different for everyone. For me personally, it either comes 2 ways. I either go to chase after to write a song, or the inspiration comes to me. I don't think there's a better way. Like, they're both good, you know. Some ways you've got to seek God for something, and some ways God just speaks to you. And so probably half the songs have been one way, half the songs have been another way. I feel like what I do want to do here in Planetshakers is come into agreement with what's going on in our church. So Pastor Russell, who's our senior pastor, if he's preaching about something, I want to come into agreement with that, and honor that word that he's speaking and write songs about that theme. And, you know, when that song that I write might not go great in other churches, but for us in our church, because that's the theme that's going on in our church, is so powerful. You know, when he preaches a message about a certain topic and then we sing about that topic at the end in the ministry time, it's just extra powerful. So we like to really write songs with what God is doing here in our church. But then also we just don't want to write cool songs. We really want God to anoint the songs we're writing, because, you know, it's interesting when I look over the course of my songwriting history. There's some songs I didn't think God would necessarily breathe on like he did. So look, the biggest song that I've probably written is Nothing Is Impossible. And when I wrote that was probably the quickest song I ever wrote. But I actually wrote that in honor of Pastor Russell, because he said to us songwriters on a Friday before church on Sunday, he goes, I need a song about faith. You know, we've got lots of songs about faith, but you want a new, fresh song about faith. And so some of us went away, and I went away and just started reading some scriptures about faith, and then literally wrote that song in 30 minutes. And it's so funny, isn't it, that the song I wrote in 30 minutes has become one of my biggest songs. Right. So you just never know. But I really believe, because I honoured that word that Pastor Russell was wanting, God honoured that, and he's used that song to stir a lot of faith in people, which is awesome. But other guys, you know, some of like Pastor Sam, who's Pastor Russell's wife, she's a songwriter too, but she doesn't necessarily, she can't really play an instrument. So she will just have ideas in her head, and she'll come and collaborate with myself, and we'll work that together. Our drummer, Andy Harrison, who's also our youth pastor, he's a super creative guy, and he'll come in with ideas as well, and I'll help develop them. But any song that we basically finish, we'll always do like a full quality demo here before it even goes out to the church. And sometimes we'll turn that demo around in a day really quick. So then every person on the team knows their part, and we come together on a Sunday morning, and it basically sounds great, because we don't have a Thursday night rehearsal or anything like that here. Sure. So in a lot of cases, we'll finish the demo on a Saturday and send it out, and the team learn it by ear now. And then come Sunday morning, and we just play it all together, and it's a great fit. Which sounds crazy, but that's the culture in our team now, which is awesome.
Right. I was going to say, does it have the really crazy bass line in a day sometimes too?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. So, I mean, I was going to ask, like, I love the idea of being able to write songs that help, like, thematically catch with what's going on with the pastor. You said you got told on Friday that Sunday they were going to, like, do Nothing Is Impossible. Is that the norm, or are there sometimes where you guys get a little more runway for that?
Well, we do definitely live in a last minute prophetic word, in a good way, kind of environment. And that really challenges us. We have many conversations about this, because it really challenges us as a creative team. So, you know, for instance, we might know that Pastor Russell's preaching about, I don't know, faith on the weekend, but then at the last minute and he's got all his scriptures loaded into the system, but then at the last minute he might change his sermon to something else. And that's where you've got to have a good attitude, because that can really, you know, rile up some people in the wrong way. But we understand though that the power of the prophetic word and the now word of the Lord, and we always want to stay open to listen to, what the Holy Spirit's leading, and that translates into our worship leading too. We don't just want to have our locked in set list. That's what we decided at the start of it. That's what we practice. So we're not changing. We'll roll with the plan, but we still want to have an ear open to Holy Spirit to see where He's leading, because we don't want to just have our own agenda. God sometimes speaks. We want to make sure we listen to that, and so that has got us used to that in songwriting as well, in terms of always just being open and ready for the now word of the Lord. But then we'll also have like a theme for the year as well. And so there's no, so for instance, last year's theme was breakthrough and glory. So, there was no rush really to write a song like that, breakthrough. We had the whole year just to think about those kind of songs.
Yeah.